Well, everybody, it's Cape Rugby TV time, and it's that difficult time again, where we talk to you about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Of course, the show, as we've mentioned to you in the last few weeks, is a little bit different. We're coming to you everything via the digital medium and crossing to all of our guests and friends of Western Province Rugby. It's coronavirus threat currently underway. It's a lockdown. Everybody's staying in isolation, but nevertheless, we're trying to reach out to you, keep you comfortable, and also make sure that you stay safe behind closed doors. Of course, big thanks to our partners on board with us here at Cape Rugby TV, Direct Access, your financial services partner, Score Energy Drinks. They are on board with Western Province Club Rugby, and hopefully later in the year, they will be back on board when we kick off the Score Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. Of course, Thorburn Event Security and Yes Electrical down on Voortrekker Road, and of course Intercape Transport Services. All businesses staying involved with us, and of course under difficult conditions. But right, folks, a number of interviews coming up then tonight. As I said, we'll be speaking to a lot of our club rugby partners and friends, but joining me right now, also coming from a remote location, I'm joined by DHL Stormers skills coach, old friend of Cape Rugby TV, Labib Levy. Labib, how are things on your side, man?
Very good, JP. Just relaxing. I've been busy all day on various Zoom and calls like this, and discussing what's happening as well as what's happening in the future, and just monitoring various aspects of the game, but also having fun in the process. Same as you, I can only imagine, and just trying to be as creative during this time as possible.
Yeah, it's a difficult time. I think everybody's reinventing themselves. Labib, for you, maybe a little bit tricky now doing skills remotely, but from what I understand, and we are going to speak to Jerome Parvata and Faisal Felton a little bit later, also from Western Province Rugby. But from what I understand, you guys are extremely busy at the moment. You're constantly doing SA rugby courses, and reaching out to the Stormers. Tell us a bit more.
Yeah, basically, obviously we have various departments in the Stormers environment, so we've broken the weeks up, as well as in our planning from a coaching perspective. So, example, in the initial stage, well, still ongoing. Players were given conditioning programs, obviously after the partnership with Virgin Active. All the players cleaned out our gyms at the high performance center. So all the weights, all the bikes, all the watt bikes, etc., balls, etc., was given to our players. So the conditioning team, Rifat Jappi, gives them weekly programs, but we've also done challenges for them from a conditioning perspective. So the players are challenging other, various running competitions,
Yes.
strengths, etc. From my side, I give two videos per week for the players, just to challenge them, just to do basic skills. They've all got those off balls or shadow balls, whereby they can pass against the wall, and they do as much reps as they can or want, and various skills. I know you've had Rita on the show. Shimi, who does the scrumming, he's sending out various new techniques that we want to try in terms of just conditioning and just some various scrum techniques, etc. The players have also received on a weekly basis. We give them challenges like example this week. Yesterday we had the Leinster. We put clips. We use a system called Huddle, and we put clips on them. Then we ask them to analyze maybe attack, defense. Tomorrow we issuing today's Saracens. Tomorrow we're giving them footage on example the last 5 games of the Crusaders in Super Rugby. So see what they're doing well in various aspects of the game, at defense especially at this point. And the players are actually buying to it and giving a lot of feedback. And then there's things like the players are involved in CI, especially they're driving various campaigns. We've got
Yeah,
a pick and
yeah,
pay
yeah.
campaign whereby people can donate. That's a big thing happening at the moment. And then we've got braai challenges, which the players are, they're just buying, and then we have competitions around that. So it's quite busy. Although it's remote, everyone has been creative. Last year, players had to design their own skills. Example, just be creative, come up
Yeah,
with a
yeah,
drill,
yeah.
and send it out. And what Dobson does, we've had on Monday mornings is a coaches meeting with the leadership group.
Isn't this interesting the way that
Yeah,
we're doing it now? Life is completely different to how we were thinking before. People crossing to each other and maybe not worrying so much what it is that they're wearing on the day in front of the camera. Or in your case, it's obviously different because you're wearing all the sponsors' gear, but when you're in these Zoom conferences, you're not so worried about the dog barking in the
yeah,
background or someone's putting a cup
yeah.
of
Or
coffee
the
on the
baby
table.
crying,
Yeah, it's all different now.
and no, it's different. But I think it's also a nice time for people to empower themselves. You, like you said, you reinvent yourself, but you also find new ways of doing things. And part of our plan is to see how we can use what we learned in this phase to bring it into our coaching environment to make it
Yeah.
more dynamic. And because a big thing from a coach perspective and from a player perspective, but especially a coach perspective, chasing time. You're always looking for more and more time. And now,
Yes.
if we found ways to where we can find that time, example, maybe make the day shorter for for the coaches at,
Did
at
you think?
at the HPC, or
Um,
make the day.
did you think when you guys went into this? Did you think for 1 second you were going to have too much time on your hands? You weren't going to know what to do with yourself.
I promise you. There was a talk. I mean, everyone thought boredom, don't know what to do. Going to that whole Stockholm syndrome where where you start to like the people who captured you, etc. But no, no, we thought we are gonna have a lot of time, but I'm just finding time flying. Time
There's
really
just no.
flies.
It's
It's
ironic. There's
it's
not
it's
enough
like
time in the day.
like you're waking up 8 o'clock normal, but you end up going to sleep 11, 12 o'clock. And it's just
How's the
busy with so many things.
How have the players found the move to look? I know that you guys, and you've explained this to us before, that you guys have always been very electronically minded because you've had to do all that video analysis in the past. You've had to look at PowerPoint presentations and all sorts of digital components. I know Rassi Erasmus was very strong on the analytical side, and yourself as well.
Yeah.
How have the players must have made a reasonably easy transition into that?
We've been fortunate in when I joined Western Province, we was going to the age of players having their own laptops, which basically followed the Clive Woodward after he won the World Cup, or before he won the World Cup. His big thing was every player must have a laptop. But now with the phones, I mean the phones are so modern. You can get all sorts of systems. We've invested in digital programs whereby we can actually send clips to players.
Yeah,
We can
yeah,
upload the game to them. We cut clips and send them tasks, etc. So even that whole laptop age has moved along, and you can't send them too big clips. You send it small because obviously the data challenge is real, or the Wi-Fi challenge is real. So so that has really helped our process, because we've been in age for about the last, I think, 2 years, and we've
yeah,
actually accelerated it this year, whereby we've pushed that agenda to use technology as
yeah.
part of it, and it's just worked out perfectly.
Labib, you're an old club rugby man. I've got to ask you, what have you
Yeah.
got for the clubs right now? Is there any words of advice? Right now the guys are also at the club level. They're busy doing home training programs. They're coming up with challenges.
I
There's funny videos.
I think what I found, what's impacted, there's been a lot of nostalgia, especially on your Instagrams and your Facebooks. People are challenging others to build some pride in their clubs. Clubs are coming up with old pictures. Players are coming when they played, and there's just such a nice camaraderie happening. But I think the coaches out there have to also participate and play their part to keep their players interested. Obviously, the resources for club rugby versus the pro players are different, but there are various possibilities because everyone is in lockdown. So, whatever push up a Springbok or a Storm is doing, a club player can do it. We
Can do
obviously
also.
also prepared to share. Jerome has also sent us stuff, I believe,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Another big thing that we're doing from our coaching perspective, and for the coaches out there especially, there's like free podcasts, online books, there's talks happening all the time. And from my personal perspective, I've probably gone through about 5-6 books, even if it's just browsing through them.
You got to tell us, what's your
Rugby
favorite
books.
book? What are you reading at the moment? What's your best book?
Um, my favorite book at the moment is Relentless.
Relentless.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And just
Is it
find
a
it.
thick
I
book?
just
Is there a
find
lot
it
of
so
pages in
interesting.
there? Lots of pages in that book. Lots of pictures.
Uh, no, not many pictures, but there's some but there's some nice quotes, etc. You know,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
which which
yeah.
which I've which I'm busy with as well, which is quite cool. The Springbok coaches have also made some things available, online things, of various areas of the game, like attacking, breakdown, mauling, line-out throwing, aerial skills, player manipulation, kicking game and chase lines, tackling, lineouts. Yeah, those things are all available for the people to watch. It's our sessions.
But we're probably stealing a
Yeah,
little bit of Jerome's
I
thunder
lost you.
now, because I'm sure Jerome is also going
Yeah,
to tell
sure.
us that you guys have been together on some of those management courses. So we're hoping to find out also on his side what he's going to say. That's going to come up a little bit later in the show. I think just on a last note, we are going to cross to a video from Jamie Roberts, helping out with, obviously, with the coronavirus on the other side there.
Hey guys, yeah, life has changed pretty significantly over the last 4 or 5 weeks. I was previously sunning myself on Camps Bay and training with a great bunch of lads, and then all of a sudden I found myself back here, and yeah, it's pretty challenging. But I guess it's all about how you adapt to that challenge, and refocus after what's happened. So, look, I've lent a hand out with the National Health Service here as a volunteer, helping support all our frontline staff, which is good fun. I'm going around meeting some great groups of people and learning about how they're adapting during these difficult times. And I guess we all have to adapt. Certainly training has had to adapt. I'm out training in the park with my resistance bands, doing lengths of the fields, different speeds and down ups and things like that. And motivation can be quite difficult, but as I said, you've got to change, you've got to learn to adapt and go with the bounce of the ball. Nice one.
How are the players from a well-being point of view? Are they coping? Are they staying isolated? Are they comfortable?
Difference. Some players, very few are on their own. Some have moved in with their girlfriends for this period. Some have moved in with their girlfriend, the girlfriend's parents in this period, so they're testing. And some guys just straight home to get into mommy's food. We've divided the players, all coaches. They have a set of group that we're responsible for, and then we also touch base with them on a Tuesday, like this morning, this afternoon from 12 to 2. We had half an hour sessions with whole group, not group, they're in 4 teams, and then we just get their welfare, let them touch base with us.
Yeah.
Then also we try to touch base with them once a week. Dobson sends a weekly report out to them just to share the field, and they've, like I said, they've had Zoom prize last week. Next week we're having this cake, and it's all for prizes. So
Zoom
I
Bryce.
must say the
Okay,
mood
the
isn't bad,
first.
but Zoom Prize, online Zoom Prize, but they're missing each other. You can get the feel and on the gears on the various
Yeah,
WhatsApp
it must be.
WhatsApp groups and
I
the
mean, it's difficult for you guys. You're a team environment. That's how you function.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I must say that they're coping, and like maybe the downtime is good for them to make them also see how fortunate they are and how privileged they are in the type
Yeah.
of environment that they're in,
Mm.
and hopefully it can bear fruit when they come back
Labib, we're going
and
to
the
leave it at
competition
that.
starts
This is one
hopefully in
of
June.
those. It's very different for us as well. Feel like you're sitting in an aeroplane and controlling buttons, and you're looking at different screens, and the model is changing. It's all very different, but we are so happy that you're safe. We're happy that you guys are all in one piece. All we can do is from this side of of the world send out all our well wishes to you guys on that side, and remember to stay isolated, stay safe, and
Yeah.
pass on our best to everybody on that side.
I will. I mean, thanks for having us and keeping the rugby guys up to speed what's happening. And yeah, good luck to everyone out there. And I'm sure they can't wait to get out there on the paddock.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing you guys run again. Right, folks, that's of course Labib Levy. He is the DHL Stormers skills coach. He must be raring to get onto the park. Unfortunately, the coronavirus has struck. We are passing that message on to you via our sports leaders, our sports heroes, and the TV show to make sure that you stay safe, stay isolated, and stay healthy, and of course comply with the various guidelines from the authorities. Folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll still catch up with Jerome Parvart, Faisal Felton, a number of folks from Western Province Rugby, and we'll speak to Ruben Riffel from St. George's and find out what's happening on that neck of the woods. Obviously not at Gastro, but we'll find out what's happening amongst the St. George's players. Don't go away. Right, welcome back, folks. You're watching Cape Rugby TV. We continue to cross to you via the digital medium. It is, of course, a difficult time, as we've mentioned. Everybody's behind closed doors. They're staying in isolation. But nevertheless, our club rugby guys are remaining active. And to tell me more about some of the activities that's happening out there, we are looking now to find out from Belleville Rugby Club. And of course, joining me from Belleville is Stephen Feldman. Stephen is the second team coach at Belleville. Stephen, hoe lyk dinge aan julle kant?
Hi JP, dag sê. Nee, dit lyk alright. Is lieflik om te sien hoe die manne hulle besig hou. Ek dink die inisiatief van die government en even worldwide it's important dat ons maar moet reageer na wat gedoen moet word. Ja, so baie van die manne is besig. Ons het hulle self ook gevra voor die outbreak om hulle besig te hou, want ons weet mos nou nie wat kan gebeur as die league vinnig vroeër afskop of later afskop. So wat daar gebeur het is eintlik reg waar die manne, dis van die senior players wat eintlik vir hulle fiks, wat 'n goeie ding is.
En julle hoe die ouens soort van geadapt. Dit lyk my die spelers is bietjie hulle is meer sal ek sê hulle dink nou bietjie uit die boks uit. Hulle doen nou ander dinge.
Kyk, ons het vroeg begin met ons liga. Nie die liga nie, met die friendlies. Die idee was eintlik van die coaching staff dat ons ouens vroeg fiks wil kry deur te speel. Nie net die hele tyd om op die veld heeltyd te hardloop nie, want daai is 'n manier hoe ons die ouens weg van die veld af hou. Oor die jare het ons gesien, sommige tye werk dit, sommige tye werk dit nie. So ons het net besluit, kom ons kry vroeër friendlies in en ons maak ons ouens vroeg fiks sodat hulle gewoond is aan die bal, dat hulle gewoond is aan prese, wanneer dit prese tyd is, weet wat om te doen. En ja, daai goedjies wat hy daar doen, hy's basically wat ons maar net so voor die lockdown of voor die epidemie uitgekom het gedoen het.
Steven, dit is ook seker vir julle ouens as 'n span, as 'n klub redelik moeilik. Julle het nou net voor die lockdown het julle nuwe borge aangekondig. Ek dink met Hollywood Bets, nuwe jerseys, alles was reg om te loop. Daar's seker 'n bietjie disappointment ook oor dinge soos daai.
Wat ons altyd vir die manne sê, wanneer iets controllable is en uncontrollable, dit is wat ons kan hanteer en nie kan hanteer nie. Ja, die excitement was daar. Die ouens was actually ready to go. En dan het die unfortunate ding gebeur. Ja. Kyk, miskien, ek kan nou nie sê wat 'n goeie ding was nie, maar my eie opinie is, ek dink ook sien dat dit gebeur het, so sit ons nou terug, as net ons gaan nou 'n bietjie harder moet werk en vinniger moet werk as die liga begin, om weer ons spelpyl en ons fiksheid levels te bereik. Ja. Dit was regtig 'n inspuiting van Hollywood Bets af, want baie van die ouetjies is jong, baie van die ouens speel in die first team, vir al die jong ouetjies, van ja, as 'n paar senior manne daarso. En dit was eintlik baie blydskap geweest op baie Sondag toe ons almal nou daar gewees het en die oorhandiging wat plaasgevind het van Hollywood. Kyk, daar het ook baie goeie dinge uitgekom van, ek dink is die chairman wat gepraat het. So ja, ons het regtig uitgesien, maar ek dink hulle sê mos better late than never. So dis maar die geval nou.
Steven, laaste video, jy moet nou vir ons vertel wie's in hierdie video, laaste video.
Jy weet daai ou fiks, maar kyk, so ek gesê het, hè. Ons het 'n kompetisie aan al die coaches met die lockdown, so ek gesê het. Warrens die goedjies in sy span in vir die A-span definitely. XD challenges in die second team en so gaan dit af na die span toe. Ja, ons het eendag, ek kan onthou een aand toe speel ons twee die first team ouens. Jy weet maar nou hoe die ouens as hulle weet, dis nou weer ou pere. Toe wil hulle ons slag. Nou sê ek, pypies, as jy nie nou pas nie, dan hou jy die boel. Ja, maar die ou fiks, kyk, as net op 'n einde van die dag is dit 'n lifestyle wat ons moet aankweek. En ek dink dit is die boodskap wat ons uitgestuur het vir die manne. Moenie by die huis gaan lê en wag tot die rugby begin nie. Vat die rugby na jou huis toe. Doen iets. Jy gaan nou by die huis wees. Sommige manne werk, want hulle is in die essential besigheid. Maar maak iets en van die ouens het vir my 'n paar klips ook gestuur. Ek het dit nie aangestuur nie en dis nice om te sien. Ons het nou 'n fitbin en was vir die ouens veral aan die tweede span. So die manne vat nou die coach in, want die coach sit met 'n soep, so die soep moet ons afweek.
Steven, ons gaan daarso los. Luister, ons gaan weer met julle gesels so op die foon, op die Skype. Ek weet dis bietjie moeilik, maar ons werk hom uit en ons is almal, ek dink net bly om van julle te hoor en te hoor dat julle veilig is en ons is nou jammer dat die liga nog nie begin het nie, maar ons is binnekort uit hierdie ding uit en ons sê maar vir die ouetjies daar by Bellville Rugby Football Club, ons sê hallo en almal kyk na hulle en almal praat oor hulle.
Ja, dankie JP. Kyk, ons sal dit maar soos maar elke jaar sê, ons vat dit game vir game. Ons sit altyd vir onsself hoë standards. Sometimes it was baie one-on-one talks. Dan is wanneer die second team en die eerste span coaches inkom en ons kry die ouetjies bymekaar. Maar ja, ons sal so maak, ons weet die manne wil uitkom om vir Behavel te wen. En is altyd maar seker maar eer om 10 Behavel te speel.
Dankie Steven, ons los hom daar so. Right, so folks, Steven Feldman is of course second team coach at Bellville. Great to see the guys are so active and those coaches challenges. Isn't that fantastic? It really is. The spirit at Bellville, I tell you something, Bellville was raring to go this season. What a disappointment. And they just got that sponsor, that big sponsor, Hollywood Bets, right before the lockdown. They had their announcement on that Sunday. How unfortunate. But nevertheless, if we've seen character before, Bellville Rugby Football Club can certainly deliver it. We will be speaking, in other words, on that note, we're going to be catching up with Jerome Parvater. Stick around because, as you know, he's an old Bellville Rugby man. But before we do that, we're going to catch up with Ruben Riffel from St. George's. He's going to tell us what's happening, not at Gastro, but at St. George's. Back in a sec. Right, welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. As you know, it's difficult conditions, lockdown in place, but everybody's remaining active and we continue to cross to our friends of Cape Rugby TV and of course still trying to make sure that we connect you via the digital method. And no stranger to Cape Rugby TV. He wasn't on the show with us last week, so we missed out a little bit, but of course, old friend and panel member many years ago, for many years now, Jerome Parvater. Jerome, hoe lyk dinge daar by jou?
JP, under circumstances, very good. I must say, we're quite busy. This is now the third Skype meeting that I have today. We had one with Danny Jones, our staff meeting. Then we had SA Rugby, and then actually my fourth one. And then I had a meeting with the Supersport Challenge coaches via Skype, and now with you. So yeah, it's basically, but it's good. So we're very busy, and we can still via technology communicate and have our meetings. And yeah, so we're going on the circumstances.
Well, it's like you said to me. I think we spoke on the phone maybe last week, that you've been more busy now than you were before.
Yeah, I never knew that there's so much admin in stuff to do and planning to do, because once you're on the field, you're just on the field, you're just with a group of players,
Yeah.
and you do your admin in between. But now you basically not forced to, but you can put a lot of other systems in place that you don't have time for, and a lot of planning, and also I'm certainly also upskilling myself now with technology. So yeah, so it's not all that bad.
Jerome, guys, ek's baie bly om te hoor dat het so aangaan. But listen, you'll be happy to know that our first interview today was with Labib Levy, and he was talking to us also about some of your engagements, because I think you guys are probably together on some of those conference calls. And then our second interview was with Stephen Feltman, the second team coach at Belleville, which is of course your old neck of the woods. So we're not going to keep you for too long, Jerome, but for the guys out there like the Belleville rugby clubs of the world, have you got a message for them?
Yeah, JP, look, they look like a little bit of positive news. We have last week, Mr. Zelt Marie, the president of Western Province Rugby Union, sent myself and John Dobson a message from SA Rugby that we must basically decide on the competition, if the Super Sport Challenge going on, and under 21, and obviously Super Rugby with John. So it looks like, if we're fortunate, we might be able to play in June, which will mean that the Super Sport Challenge competition will be a knocked out competition. So that, and then after that, the under 21 competition will start. So and as you know, we have a lot of club players. You were asking about the club players. So we have a lot of club players in the squad currently. So yeah, we must just hope and be positive that the lockdown will come to an end, maybe in May, so that we can start in June. So it's not all. So hopefully, like I say, I send my recommendation in. John Dobson sent his recommendation in, and we want the competitions to continue. And I think so. All the other coaches in all the other unions. So yeah, the club guys must still work hard. And it was good for me not to be on the show next week, and I'm not to be on the show, but it's good to see that the club guys were all training and all this the exercises that they're doing,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then helping each other. And I must also say, it's when was it now? Sunday, a guy from Kimberley sent me a message asking if he can talk to me. So I was wondering why this guy talked to me, but he's involved with the club in Kimberley and he's watching Cape Rugby TV. And so he said that it's good that what the club guys are doing. So he was asking me for a few tips and ideas, which I sent to him. We also sent last week, we also sent out some stuff to the clubs, what they can do. So it's good to see. And I mean, this is the time that we always say, but it's more important now. If somebody wants anything that we can say.
Well, I'm so thrilled to hear that people up country are watching, and hopefully, if they're sitting up country, you know, a lot of people in the rest of the country and the rest of the world don't have the facility that we've got as Western Province Rugby. We've got TV, and no one else has got this. Certainly, from a club perspective, I hope that the rugby fans around the world that are either watching in South Africa or YouTube or wherever they watch us are maybe drawing some positivity from this.
Yeah. I mean, like wherever you go, like last year, for example, when we were traveling with the under 21 team or Super Sport Challenge team, whether it's in Mpumalanga or in Johannesburg or in East London, people come to you and say they like the show, they like what we are doing with Club Rugby, they like what Cape Rugby TV is giving to the community. So yeah, it's good to see, and it's good to, like I say, this is a time that we can share and give ideas to other people. So it's good that from your side and Cape Rugby side, we can still keep the program going and talk about the game and share ideas.
100%. Well, we'll keep connected. Jerome, we're going to leave it at that. We know that you've had a long day. This is your 4th meeting already. But like they say, you leave the most important for last. So we're going to leave it at that. And we'll catch up with you again soon.
Good. Yeah. Hope to talk to the people next week again, and I hope to hear from you soon again.
Of course, Jerome Parvater there. He's the head of high performance head of Club Rugby High Performance. And of course, the guys at the moment are doing, well, some incredible work. We thought they were doing incredible work before, but now with all the digital conversions with the coronavirus lockdown, the guys really are doing a lot in terms of sharing information and upskilling, as you heard Jerome say there. And hopefully we'll get him back on the show next week, and we'll find out what more it is that they've been up to. But it is the lockdown for all of us, and the coronavirus is out there, and we have to make sure that it does not spread. So we're reminding you via this sports medium, stay behind closed doors, stay isolated, follow the authorities' guidelines, do not be tempted. If you do go anywhere, remember, always wash your hands, sanitize, wear those masks, and keep your distance. When we come back from the break, we'll catch up with Faisal Felton from Western Province Rugby, and then of course a little bit later I'm looking for the rare treat to speak to Ruben Riffel. He's been around Western Province Rugby for a long time. He's of course president at St George's and Western Province Rugby board member. That's going to be quite exciting. And we've got a whole lot of player videos as well. And then of course we're going to take a look at what's happening at Macassar. Macassar is also on the cards with us, and we'll be speaking to Jeremy, the coach at Macassar, about what it is that the guys are busy with. We'll be back after the break. All right, folks, we are back. It is, of course, Cape Rugby TV. We're reaching out to our friends and fans of Western Province Club Rugby. We've already spoken to Labib Levy. He's telling us what's happening at the Stormers. We've spoken to Jerome Parvater. He's in touch with the guys at the Supersport Challenge, as well as a number of other activities. We, of course, spoke to Stephen Feldman from Belvoir Rugby Club. We'll still catch up with Faisal Felton and Ruben Riffel. All that coming up during the course of the show while you're under the lockdown conditions. But joining him on the show now is Jeremy Jansen. Jeremy's, of course, head coach at Macassar. Jeremy, hoe gaan dinge aan julle kant?
It's wel frustrating. Kyk na, ons is allemaal seker wanneer die rugby gaan begin nie, maar dit is baie ons wat op hulle eie oefen. Ek myself is besig om op my eie te oefen, so gaan maar aan.
Ja, Jeremy, ek bedoel, dit is een van die moeilike tye waar ons nie weet wat volgende kom nie. Ons weet nie hoe lank die lockdown, wel op die oomblik hoop ons, maar die lockdown gaan binnekort end, maar vir al wat ons weet, gaan dit miskien aangaan. Ek het ook weer, soos ons nou deur die show gedoen het, ons 'n hele spul video's van jou spelers gekry. Hoe lyk dit met julle, met die spelers in die span daar so aan daai kant?
Ja, die ouens wil net by die oefenveld uitkom. Ek meen, om op jou eie te werk is dit kos baie plan-wise, maar dit is nie dieselfde soos as jy by mekaar is op 'n rugbyveld.
Jeremy, is julle daarom in kontak met die spelers? Baie van die ouens is besig om WhatsApp te stuur, en as ek kyk na hoe baie video's hier so ingekom het, dit lyk my die ouens bly nogal besig.
Ja nee, ek praat elke dag met die ouens. Ons het 'n program wat ons gedeel het vir wanneer die lockdown oor is, basically vir die eerste 2 weke gaan ons moet commit vir 8 oefensessies. So daar is redelike communicatie, players daar eie WhatsApp groep, waar ek en my assistent Ivan Kotse ook in is. Word baie gedeel.
Jeremy, watter tipe boodskappe stuur julle ouens op die oomblik vir die spelers oor hoe om positief te bly?
Ja, kyk, baie van die ouens wil basically weet wanneer gaan ons terugveld toe en daai tipe goed. Om my ouens positief te hou, maar as jy self-discipline het en positive mindset het, gaan jy aan die gang bly en dinge doen om jouself voorbereid te hou indien die season begin. Selectie is moeilik om ons te motivate.
Ja. Jeremy, ek dink ons gaan dit sommer daarso nou los. Sê maar vir die ouens daar buite, ons stuur alles van die beste en hulle moet maar veilig bly.
Dankie JP, selfde daai kant.
Jeremy Jansen, of course, head coach at Macassar. We're reaching out via the online medium. Some of the guys are crossing at the moment via Skype or mobile phone, and we're just trying to make sure we stay contacted. When we come back, we'll catch up with Ruben Riffel. Right, folks, it's of course where we're crossing, we carry on crossing to our friends of West Bromwich Club Rugby. Clubs staying active, or at least the players are staying active out there, and no more so than St George's Rugby Football Club. And of course, to tell us more about St George's Rugby Football Club, and this is a gentleman that knows all the history of St George's. Joining me on the line now is Ruben Riffel, of course, St George's and Western Province Rugby board member. Ruben, hoe gaan dinge aan jou kant, meneer?
JP, nee man, dat gaan baie goed met my. Plus en gezond. Ondersteun maar die lockdown rules en follow maar net die reëls van social distancing. En verder lees ek en nou myself besig met die huis.
Ruben, jy is al jaar by St George's. Jy het seker nog nooit so iets gesien nie, né?
Nee, wie JP, ek dink vanaand of vanmiddag. Het sal seker een keer in 'n mens se leeftyd wees waar jy so iets ondervind. Hierdie pandemie en daar sal duisende mense reg oor die wêreld het al gesterf. En daar's duisende wat ook positief getoets is.
Hoe vind die gemeenskap het aan daai kant? Daar's natuurlik baie mense wat ook afhangend is van St George's aktiwiteit.
Ja, JP, St George's is 'n gemeenskapsklub soos jy weet. Dit is vir my verbasend dat die klub het maar nog al die jare, jy weet self die kinderdag, 13, 14 jaar terug al die kinderdag begin. St George's gaan normaal voort. Die voorsitter Janine reël sopkombuise nog altyd 2 keer 'n week. 2 keer 'n week reg deur die jaar sopkombuise vir al die gemeenskappe wat ons bedien. So ons het nie nou met die virus dat ons nou wakker skrik en sê ons is 'n gemeenskapsklub. Dit is maar in ons norm.
Julle doen dit al 'n lang tyd, ja. Ons het eintlik van Abraham Fredericks en Lillian by Noordelikes, ons het so 'n paar foto's ingekry ook van die van wat hulle doen daarso om vir mense te voer en na die gemeenskap te kyk. Dis fantasties wat julle doen, hè.
Ja, jy sien JP, wat die grootste ding wat vir my kwel is die mense wat afhanklik is van staatstoela. As die lockdown nog langer gaan wees, dan gaan ons met 'n wesenlike probleem sit. Want as iemand honger is, dan gaan hy moeite maak om kos in die hande te kry.
Maar Ruben, kom ons praat bietjie oor die spelers. Julle was natuurlik reg vir die seisoen. Baie van die clubs moet nou maar wag en julle friendlies was aan die gang en bietjie disappointing vir julle?
Ja, ons het nogal goed afgeskop. Ons het ons nou die magtige Kuilsrivier op Kuilsrivier geklop. Dan het ons 'n goeie wedstryd gehad teen Strand, ons bure. Net voor die aankondiging. So ons was goed op pad. En ek moet vir jou sê, die hoofafrigter Marwan Davids, Ricky Peterson is ook natuurlik nou daar in die mix in. En dan Gareth Isaacs, ons is die afrigtingspan daar so. Ons het ons planne agter mekaar gehad. Ek sal eintlik voorstel as hy weer 'n geleentheid skep om met Marwan te praat, want hy het al die dinge bymekaar gesit. Ek en Ricky is op hierdie stadium as ons konsultante. Die plan is dat ons die hele klub deur gaan werk terwyl die afrigters by hulle spanne konsentreer.
Wel, julle het genoeg kennis en dit lyk my julle klink maar julle nogal 'n sterk bestuurspan daarso. So as die lockdown nou klaar is en ons kom daarby uit dat daar ten minste 'n paar games is, dan gaan St George's gevaarlik wees.
Ja man, jy weet, ek het toch al uitgesien na die seisoen. Want ons het nou al vir die jaar het ons nou al gedreig. Ons het nou al in die top 6 gespeel.
Ja.
Ons het 2 wedstryde net gemis. Daar is redelik talent daar so, daar's kenners daar so, en daar's kwaliteitsspelers ook. Ons het ook 'n paar spelers teruggekry wat ook voor seisoen ander weivelde gaan soek het, maar daar's mos niks soos Homie man. En jy weet, once a Lulu boy, always a Lulu boy too.
Ruben, ek het 'n paar video's hierso. Ek gaan gou deur hulle loop en dan vertel ons bietjie wie's in die video's en wat maak die ouens by die huis. Ons gaan so 4 of 5 video's in 'n ry kyk. Dis die ouens lyk nogal besig. Ruben, ja, ek weet dit is baie keer moeilik om daarso te sien wie ons op die video sien, maar soos jy sê die ouens hulle brei kreatief aan kant, né?
Ja, nee, die manne gebruik enige iets wat by die huis is, jong. Is bakstene, dis tyres, dis fiets binnebande, skiptou, enige iets wat vir hom kan help. Ek het byvoorbeeld nou die dag hier by my, by die stoep het ek net so 'n paar step-ups gedoen. En dit werk. Dit werk.
Ja, nee, wag dat jy op die dak moet klim.
JP, kom ons los dit vir 'n ander dag.
Ruben, ons los hom daar so, ons gaan weer met jou praat oor die volgende paar dae. Ek weet julle ons bly active en kan ek maar net sê julle moet asseblief veilig bly daai kant. Ons weet dit is moeilik onder die lockdown, moeilik vir almal, maar ek weet St. George's julle doen altyd 'n great job.
Ja, nee, dankie vir jou ook JP. Dankie vir julle wat die show aanbied. Dit is altyd lekker om te kyk woensdae. En as ek hom gemis het Saterdagoggende, maar bly safe en volg die reëls.
Ja, ons sal probeer en ons sal hopelik vir julle spelers aanhou profile doen sodat hulle mekaar kan challenge en ten minste 'n bietjie kan glimlag daarso by die huis. Dankie.
Thanks JP. Lekker aanbede. Lekker
sê maar vir Janine en vir almal ons sê hallo daai so daai kant, né? Right, folks, of course, Ruben Riffel, former president of St. George's, current Western Province Rugby board member, and St. George's, as always, doing an incredible job in the community. If you've ever been out there, you must go and have a look. Apart from the big derby days, when you go out there, St. George's playing against Solarians or any of the other teams in the Strand area, and that Helderberg Basin is another thing altogether. Really missing out on the fact that the season has not kicked off. It's a real pity, but we'll wait and see what happens after the lockdown. But if you get half a chance, go and get down to Gastro to watch St. George's feed the kids out there. Janine, the chairperson of St. George's, and her management team doing a fantastic job. And great to see how active the players are. Really, really great to see that the guys are staying motivated and remaining ready for action. We'll of course have to wait and see what happens with the lockdown, but you couldn't want more from the players. That really is fantastic. We're going to take a break. When I come back, we'll still catch up with Faisal Felton from Western Province Rugby and Morgan Newman, who's of course at Hamilton's, and old Cape Rugby TV friend. Back in a sec. Right, folks, welcome back. Cape Rugby TV time, Wednesday night. And yes, as you know, as we've been saying for the duration of the show now, it is, of course, a little bit tricky, but we're crossing to folks via Skype. We've managed to catch up with folks at the moment tonight, from a professional level down to amateur level, clubs everywhere. But we, of course, missing being in studio where we're able to have our whole panel together and speak to all of our friends close up, but that's what we're dealing with at the moment. And speaking about friends, one of the oldest friends of Cape Rugby TV, of course, and no stranger to all of you, Morgan Newman. Morgs, how are things on your side, Meneer?
How's it, chaps? Yeah, we're locked down. We're obeying the rules, but yeah, missing being in the rugby environment, in the rugby fraternity. You know, it's difficult times, but yeah, hopefully it'll pass and we can really start to appreciate what we're so blessed to have, actually.
Morgs, when you guys first found out that there was going to be a lockdown, what went through your mind?
Look, James, to be honest with you, it seemed very surreal. It didn't seem real. It just didn't seem that it was happening. You know, I thought it would pass in a couple of days and the hype of being locked down would pass and everything would just go back to normal. And the whole world has been affected. And it's really had a massive impact on everyone. I mean, you know, just from a business point of view, obviously trying to keep the business going, trying to keep, obviously, the sporting world, keep the guys together, trying to keep everyone together has been tough. But yeah, massive shock. But we will come out of this, and we'll come out of it better for it. I think we'll come out of it more appreciative of what we actually have, and hopefully better human beings. And then
you started making the adjustment. I mean, you kept contact with your players. We're talking about Hamilton's Rugby Football Club now. You stayed in contact with the players. From what I understand, your guys are quite active.
Yeah, look, James, we've kept this contact as much as we can. You know, we've obviously got a WhatsApp group that we're quite active on, and the guys chat quite a fair amount on. But it's been difficult, I must be honest. You know, not everyone has access to Wi-Fi and to so forth. But nonetheless, the guys have been chatting on WhatsApp, and we're also just today, one of our senior players, Earl Lewis, you might know him, he's decided to do some Zoom fitness sessions. So as of the next couple of days, the guys are going to try and log on. Those that have access to being able to log on are going to log on, and we're going to interact and just have a bit of fun, do some fitness at home, you know, use whatever bench, whatever weight you can find, you know, a lot of body weight stuff we're going to do. And we're just going to have a bit of fun, you know, touch base with the guys and really just touch, you know, sort of connect. I think that's the big part. You know, we haven't seen each other for it's close on to a month now. Yeah. And a month in rugby is a long time. And, you know, if we don't do it, then we're not going to hit the ground running. And that's the most important thing, you know. As a coach now, I'm really at the part where when the season does eventually kick off and things go back to normal, we're going to hit the ground running, you know. We're going to hope that guys have been doing fitness on their own. And we're going to hope that they kind of haven't forgotten everything that we worked on so hard for the last, what was it, 6, 8 weeks.
And it was just before the lockdown that, in fact, we came out to one of the practice sessions at Hammy's there with Phil Cronier and you guys, and it really, and you guys were, of course, you started playing quite a lot of friendlies as well. I mean, you were really gearing up for the season.
Yeah, I mean, look, James, we'd hit the ground running. I mean, we were really fortunate. We had some really good preseason games, and I thought that the guys played really well. You know, we were excited about the season. I thought we got a lot of new faces at Amis, which is no secret. And, you know, we've gone out and really tried to recruit some really nice players and create, you know, let the wheel turn at Hamilton's. And we saw the wheel turning. I must be honest. I really think that the wheel had turned. And we were looking forward to the season kicking off. You know, we were about to play our last friendly. Then we were going to head into, obviously, against Villages, Derby Day. And then the season was going to start and against SK Warmers, and we were ready for it. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. And obviously, new fixtures will be sent out when we know sort of what the future looks like. But at this stage, it's all about keeping fit, having fun, and you know, when it does start, we'll make the best of the situation. I think everyone is in the same boat, and that's what the nice thing has been. You know, it hasn't been, no individuals have been singled out. The whole world is in the same boat, and I think that in itself has been comforting, knowing that it's not like it's not like SK Warmers are on the field training. It's not like Brackenfell are out there training. No one is out there training together, and it's almost a nice, comforting thought to know that when we hit the ground running, come hopefully May sometime, then everyone's in the same boat. We can have some fun and really play rugby for the right reasons. You know, for having fun and just you know, seeing your mates on a Tuesday night and on a Thursday night and on a Saturday have some you know, celebrate either a victory or loss, but just have some fun, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah. Morgs, we obviously need to catch up with you on a regular basis because I think we're also getting a bit of cold turkey now that we don't have Morgan Newman chatting with us every week. But before we go, you got to tell us about those rugby jerseys in the background there, buddy.
Yeah, Japes, it is my office. I've got a little home office, so I can probably show you around a little bit. That's my office desk over there. It's not very neat and tidy right now, so please excuse it. That's my calendar over there, and as you can see, that over there is the rugby fixtures that we now, unfortunately, is not happening. So I'll have to change that calendar as soon as it comes out. But speaking of the rugby jerseys, yeah, Japes, it's two of my prized possessions. I mean, the one on the right-hand side is signed. It's the last game I played for Western Province, or on sort of my left, your right, I think it is. But it's my last game I played for Western Province. So there's a couple of signatures on there of guys that you've had on the show. And then the one on the left is actually the IRB Nations, which we won. I think you were fairly involved in that setup, James.
Might have been behind the microphone somewhere.
Yeah, but we played in Romania. Chester Williams, the late Chester Williams, very close to heart, one of my rugby mentors. He was the coach of that side, and we won the IRB Nations in Romania. Played the final against Romania in Bucharest, and came out victorious. So yeah, that's my two prized possessions that are in my office. I've got a number of other jerseys that are framed that need to go up when I eventually get the time. But nonetheless, yeah, just two of my jerseys. So thanks for asking, James.
Yeah, those old stories of things that we have to frame. That story, I think we'll be telling each other for the rest of our lives of things we're supposed to frame. And you would imagine that now during the lockdown you've got time for some framing. But I'm pretty sure when we come out of this lockdown,
you've got time to frame all your jerseys and all your what do you call your geese, James? You can frame all your geese that you've and your belt, and all your belts, all the different colors.
The problem is I'm still using them, so.
The other problem is your wife's got better belts than you, Jeff. So that's the part.
That's true as well. Morgs, but listen, we're going to leave it at that. We're hoping to catch up with you on a regular basis, and obviously we say you and the family and everybody stay safe out there, but pass on to the players that they must obviously stay closed behind closed doors and stay isolated, and we're thinking about everybody.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, James. I'm available anytime. I mean, let's connect. This is the best way we can do it. So yeah, let's connect. And just a quick message to everyone that's out there: just please stay safe, adhere to the rules, and I think everyone's health is way more important than any club rugby game that could take place. So let's adhere to the rules, and hopefully once we're back on the field, then realize play rugby for the right reasons. Appreciate why we're out there on the field, have some fun, and let enjoyment be at the forefront of everything we do. But thanks for having me, and hopefully chat again next week, chaps.
Folks, we're going to leave it at that. It's difficult bringing you a sports show, but during these conditions. But we believe that sport, and in this case the world of rugby, has the ability to pass on that message. And that is, stay isolated, stay behind doors. If you do go out, make sure it's only for essential reasons. Always wash your hands. And remember, keep a distance between yourself and the folks around you. Folks, that's a wrap from me here at Cape Rugby TV. Once again, stay safe, stay isolated, and stay connected. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. What we would normally say is have a fantastic rugby weekend, but we will see you with Cape Rugby TV's repeat on Saturday morning. Bye-bye.